free. Freedom, liberty, 'cause you and me can set them free. What's in the water? Yeah, what's in the water? I wanted to feel, I wanted to feel what's in the trees. Yeah, there for you and me. Freedom, liberty, come on and set them free. Yeah, we will set us free. A long time ago, before the universe was created, before the planets and before the stars, a long time ago, eons, I placed myself inside the stone. I wanted to know the value of the breath of life. I wanted to know eons ago the value of the breath of life. So I placed myself inside the stone. Inside the stone, I realized I had to discover what it meant to be alive. Before the planets, before the stars, I wanted to know what was inside of me, what was inside of you, what was going to be inside of me, what was going to be inside of you. We wanted to know, we wanted to see, we wanted to feel. Before the stars, before the planets, before the universe, we wanted to know the value of the breath of life. Water. Is water. And we learned that we are the light inside the water. So long ago, before the planets, before the stars, so they could be planets, so they could be stars. We needed to know. We wanted to know. And so here today, here we are. Here we are, you and I, me and you. Here we are. And we want to know still today, on the planets, on the stars, in the universe, we still want to know the value of the breath of life. For we are still and forevermore inside the stone. For we are the light inside the stone. And we know the value of the breath of life, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month. The years roll on, the ages roll on, the eons go by, and we are in the stone, and we know the value of the breath of life is water. And we are the light inside the water. And we are free, and we are free. Inside the stone, we are still free. Here we are, walking along a stony road, an ancient trail, whistling a little tune. A little tune. It has everything and then nothing. Here we are, walking along the stony road of the ancient trail, whistling, humming, mumbling a little tune. It is everything, and it is nothing. Bravo, bravo. Gracias a mí, Huna, todo listo.
Hi, I'm your light shaman. Are you experiencing unpleasant energies in your home and surroundings? and waking up in the middle of the night. My work involves clearing individuals' homes and communities. Contact me at www.lightshaman.earth, and I would be happy to help.
Coaching for conscious entrepreneurship or travel is available with Huna Mahana. Book a free 30-minute consultation today at High Life Academy or High Earth Academy. For all of your high vibrational healthcare needs, you can visit Huna Kaparore at www.lightinaction.earth. Online energy support sessions and on-site property clearings in the North Salt Lake area with Huna Mahariwa Ata. Head to www.hummingbirdhealingharmonics.earth. Introducing Mexico's only harmonic egg, operated by Hunas Maroyata and Ma'aikuta. For all of your health support needs, be it physical or emotional, head to www.apapachar.earth.
And greetings and welcome, sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloved. What's up? Hey, hey. Welcome to this Unrata, this 0 point moment that we share together. We can gather together. Auspicious gathering today. And first off, just want to thank Huna Tamake for taking care of the background there and the production, and also all the Hunas that have devised and created and built their entrepreneurships, their businesses. Happy to always share those with everybody. Of course, incredible energies, incredible time to be here. I thought I'd show that song. That song I wrote quite a number of years ago, that we actually just jammed it out live at one of our gatherings at the Stargate in Norway. And so I thought it appropriate for today, as we had spoke earlier on Brother Sacha's show, and with the Wisdom Keepers, we had spoken earlier about being in the feeling, okay? About being in the feeling in the eclipse. So I kind of wanted to just add that sacred flavor into the journey through the stone, and the journey through the inside, and the journey through the light, and offer that vibration to start off with today. Right now, though, I would like to share with you the biography of Sacha Stone and introduce our brother here. Quite an incredible journey he's been on, quite an incredible bio. Sacha was born in Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, at a very incredible time, experiencing war all around him. He is a former rock musician, artist. Hope you don't mind. I got to read it off this tiny prompt. Okay. Sacha Stone is an outspoken advocate of human rights and natural justice. Of course, some of you may know him from this. Over the past decades, he has dedicated his life to setting up various initiatives like the International Tribunal for Natural Justice. That's incredible. We need these, yeah? with ongoing investigations into human trafficking. Well, we're all familiar with that now these days. I'm so grateful to brother for his involvement there. The Lazarus Initiative, reintroducing suppressed culture, technological and historical insights through monthly symposiums. And his latest wildly successful bi-weekly news broadcast, Arise, Guerrilla News. Well, that's a new one to me, so good to hear about that. Guerrilla News. Just recently, he has broadcasted his widely shared first 5G apocalypse summit, focusing on 5G tech and the remedies to protect ourselves against those side effects that we all are familiar with these days. He has instigated peace initiatives and education programs, lobbied against human rights abuses around the globe, and he prosecutes for the protection of vanguard innovators, scientists, and doctors. He is currently developing the New Earth Sanctuary. Very exciting to hear more about that today as well. A New Earth Sanctuary alongside Lake Bacalar in Mexico, which is only about an hour and a half from where I live, right here, as well as working with high-ranking military people and inventors in Romania to push zero-point technology as the source code for the New Earth Blueprint. Without further ado, I'd like to bring on our brother and bring him right up in here. Sacha, brother, how are you? Greetings, sir.
See you. How are you, brother?
Very good. What an incredible bio you've been through these number of years and building. And today, here we are on Huna Flash TV is live and interactive, brother. It's live and interactive. So when people want an answer to their question, I put the pressure on and say, okay, you have to come on the screen and ask the question. Say a little bit of revealing to show our face, to see who we are, to learn who we are this way through these energies. So I have that, but we'll take it also how we can receive it. Thank you so much for including me in your symposium there last week.
Yeah, we had good fun there.
It was great fun. I was so honored. Of course, I wanted to get carried away, to hold myself. It's easy to do that on platforms such as yours. It's incredible. So the theme today is Eclipse 5000, coined by your words, 5000. And I added before and after, a little before and a little after. We do have some questions here, kind of set questions that we've been tossing around between the Hunas to ask you, but I thought I would invite you to start off with possibly sharing what is taking place on the ramp up towards this. And then we'll switch over after and we'll talk about what's happening after it as well, because we all want to know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, very good. So in the first instance, I stand corrected. I was corrected a few days ago by Dr. Alex Ling. It's not 5,000 years, it's closer to 7,000 years, meaning to say the cosmic event that we'll see on the 8th of April 2024, that total eclipse of the sun over North and Central America is in its sense the first time we're seeing this piece in almost 7,000 years. It passes over a place called the Zone of Silence, a couple of hours flight outside of Mexico City near Durango, and that place from satellite image looks like a navel. I mean, literally looks like where an umbilical was cut. It's about a 2,000-foot high mountain in the desert. It has very strict guardianship connected to it. The reason it's called the Zone of Silence historically is because there is no white noise. Everything everything is zeroed out there for some inexplicable geo-phenomenological reason. And my understanding is that there's no signals, no radio waves, so telephones don't work, compasses spin, all sorts of weird stuff happens. So think in terms of Bermuda Triangle on land, and we're getting close to this phenomenon called the zone of silence. The fact that the sun reaches its zenith in the totality of the eclipse directly over the zone of silence, the navel of the earth in that sense, for 4 minutes, 28.1 seconds is a phenomenon. And so what's going to be taking place within that 4 minutes, 28.1 seconds becomes a matter of, I guess, morphogenetics. The degree to which the collective plasma projection or consciousness of humanity is anchored into the central sun, the inner sun, whilst the eclipse is happening of the outer sun, that moment of darkness and silence is supposed to be a moment of the deepest reflection and invocation inwardly to touch the central inner sun and receive, in that sense, the so-called codes of resurrection, angelic resurrection, the awakening of the mother. All of that language needs to be upshifted during that total eclipse. Whereas most people historically, going back, I guess, millions of years, have always looked at total eclipses of the sun either with fear, which creates a collective fear plasma. So that stuff then can become the utility of archonic forces to create another cycle of, dystopia and fear. Or people go into kind of Babylonian frenzies and get stoned and, take psychedelics and point at the sun and wear stupid glasses and point out there. The point being, we're missing that addiction, which is that we don't look there. We look to the central sun in those moments and thereby receive the benediction. And that's, for me, the morphogenetic upshift. It's the greatest opportunity we have. Others disagree, but I am certain now in my own mind, having studied this particular dateline, and I'll be there. I'll be there in the zone of silence on the day.
Fantastic. I will offer a phrase to this, because I feel, in my opinion, that though there is a zone of silence doesn't mean it's going to be any less energetic. In fact, it should increase in the energetics and the vibration frequency, though it may feel, although we say the zone of silence. I want to offer this phrase to you, brother. From the silence comes the sound. From the sound comes the knowing. From the knowing comes the action. From the action comes the knowing. From the sound comes the silence. From the silence comes the light. Essentially going there and back again through that being. So offering this phrase to share as you are in that zone, feeling that power of going to that point in the sky and inside. From the silence comes the light. I often kick off a number of my sessions with that phrase, a number of my healing sessions to lock in the feeling. So you're absolutely correct. And also there are upgraded offerings. Can I say that? In a way, there are upgraded offerings for that moment. I'm going to share a little bit later on and demonstrate one, but that's what you do not know, you cannot know, but we can share these things. Sometimes you can remember. And going beyond what once was into what is, this is exactly what you're saying. We are not disconnected. We have to share also that how, if we are lacking connection, to offer an opportunity for those to connect. Now, I always share with many, brother, to leave the plant medicine in the ground. I work with medicine in the light. To access the same medicine if you have had practice, let's just say you've been an addict all your life and you switched, you actually have knowledge of that technology. So much so that it is in your memory that when you work with it as a healing tool, and as it is an expansion tool, you can pull it right from memory and energize it with light to bring it forth from within you. So there are these types of upgrades that are available to be shared. The question was, the one question that came out earlier from one of the Hunas was asking, how did you and I connect? How did we come to meet? Well, it's more like, how didn't we meet? I don't know if
the questions asked to me, I have zero recollection, I'm afraid, but I'm famously stupid when it comes to memory and remembrance of temporal events. So I'm afraid I have no recollection, but please enlighten me.
Yeah, I have a small memory of it. We were on Facebook, and there was a conversation about Joseph Gregory Hallett.
Oh.
And yeah, there was a conversation. This was ages ago. And you were at a summit or something going on somewhere in the UN or something, and somehow he was there, or something that he was there. Somehow you met him, and this conversation came about on Facebook, and I happened to jump in on the conversation, and we were chatting about.
Actually, Huna, now that you've prompted my memory, I know Greg Hallett. I'm very fond of Greg. And he attended and I seem to recall he attended the inauguration of the International Tribunal for Natural Justice when I launched the ceremonial seating of the court the evening before we went to bond the court in Westminster. We had a packed theater, 500 or 600 people, and Chief Justice and various bishops and diplomats came out, and multiple countries sent delegates to observe the ceremonial seating of the International Tribunal for Natural Justice. And I do recall Greg Hallett being in attendance there. I think it was that one and not one of the hearings in Westminster. But I did also spend some time with him. He's been to my home a few times. I think the seating we did in 2018 in Westminster, I seem to remember he came to my home in Holland Park and met the Chief Justice in my home as well, and the Bishop of Jerusalem. I arranged for private meetings there. I was interested, obviously, in understanding some of the extraordinary claims by Greg Hallett, which are very compelling, I have to say. And as a human being, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. I really, really like him. I have no real grasp of the extraordinary and very ambiguous claims that he makes. But the living man is a good man, that I know.
Exactly. I too became very fond of him and enjoyed it. And I did end up meeting him through David Mahoney. So David became a Huna and got sealed. So myself and the Druid Master from Wales, we were both doing work in the UK. And she said, you know what, we need to go and visit Greg Hallett. We know where he is, and you should seal him and initiate him. I said, oh, yeah, no, I mean, he's very interesting. So she and I both went to Nottingham at the time where he was and met him there. Wonderful light, wonderful being. I performed the ceremony of the seal, which is the source element ascension light activation. This is the seal. He became Huna, and followed him along the way. And I believe the conversations that kind of took place in Facebook were interconnected with you. And then you and I kind of kicked off a few conversations, but we didn't really carry those on as well. But Greg was a candidate. Is a candidate still within the lineages, if that were to happen. And he's an amazing person, but let me just share recently what happened again. And I don't judge him or anything. It was just quite humorous how so much goes on around him and all of that, the monarchy stuff that was going on. So the latest news is that I'm being accused of being a MI5 agent, and that I came over to see him, to spy on him or do some stuff, and it's always
Oh,
an
what do you mean?
amazing
You're accused by him or people in his circle?
well, it came right directly from him on a video that's on YouTube.
Well, in that case, he's out of honor, and I do not respect that action. I like Greg enough, but I'm sick to death of that kind of bullshit, because that
Right.
doesn't help. That doesn't help the truth movement. The way it is, Huna, is very simple. Any man, living man, who slanders and criticizes another living man is the one who is in wrong action. End of story. It doesn't matter. Now, a public official, you want to go for Tony Blair? You want to go for the venal Pope in Rome? Go for your life. Public officials, people hiding behind a seal of office, an oath of office, throw rocks at their head in the public. Absolutely fair game. But a living man who never slander or deride another living man, and the one who does is the one in dishonor.
And I was, I was actually comedically, bothered by it, but I understood that also what goes on around him, the people that are trying to impress upon him.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Wrong action is wrong action. And if you're holding the seal of Solomon and you're pretending at that kind of pivotal, axiomatic role, moral, intellectual, spiritual, esoteric role, then you act in honor. End of story.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is what's taking place around the edges and the fringes of the eclipse. So much interjection, intrusion, so much insertion to knock us off. And I think you spoke a bit about it, to those who are well known to this moment, that it has always been a sacred moment. There are those that want to knock these kinds of things off from the inside. Let me go to a question here from one of the questions here from the Hunas, specifically to your new sanctuary. I understand you've made some leaps and bounds. So the question is from some is, can anyone come to the New Earth Sanctuary?
When it's ready, yes. And right now, you'd be a fool to do so. But we have dozens of people of community who've already moved to Bacala. So we already have a ground community. We've got a big team, and that's only going to get bigger now. All the formalities were dispensed of last week. So build now begins. I mean, I'll tell you, well, you know this, Huna, being in Mexico. I love this place, but I'll tell you what, these buggers know how to take bureaucracy to the next level. My God. I mean, you think it's difficult to zone and permit and get master plans approved and certified and registered and notarized in America or Europe. Mexico, times that by 8 to 10 times. It's just a nightmare. And I didn't see that coming 18 months ago when I first kind of, descended and parachuted and said, yep, this is the place for the New Earth. I thought, well, 4 to 6 months, we should be all the compliances knocked out. Whoa, a lot of money later and a lot of time later. Mind you, we had some crooked people in the team. We've got a number of trials coming up in summer this year, which should be very interesting. We'll see some remedy happen in the good old court system here. But all of that stuff notwithstanding, which I always put down to kind of front end learning curve anyway, and weeding the garden. You just weed the garden. You always get those counterpoint forces that come in to destroy the taproot of any noble objective, any pattern of perfection in this world that you're really having to anchor. You're going to get the creepy crawly element, the counterpoint geometry comes in at the front end to try and destroy it. That's just par for the course. And how you then handle that stuff and step into integrity of the original mission and purpose and see it through, that's all that really matters. So yes, it's all good now, but I'll tell you, brother, woof, this one took its toll in terms of the navigating the compliances and the regulations and the ordinances. But thank God we're there and we're moving.
Yeah, good on you. And like I understand, I learned through getting my residency here. I got residency a couple of years ago. The two words came up. We can do this quickly or we can do this slowly. So I opted for the quick option. And I understand that, you know, the way of the Wild West, it's still a bit of the Wild West out here.
Yeah.
And one thing I kind of like that about Mexico, even though they talk about cartels and all these kinds of things. Well, what government isn't a cartel, right? What's the difference? But here, you got to work with everybody. So what I like about them is during pressure moments, you can count on them to be exactly the same. You can count on them to be there. And if you have a kind of an understanding of them, you can count on what they say is what they're going to do. Like what they did during COVID, what they did throughout these lockdowns. They were rebellious. They were rebellious. And I love their rebellious energy, even though, you know, they can stick it to everybody. That's all good. I'm here. I'm on the land. I'm all good. You're here. You're on the land. It's going to be hugely successful, especially when people are already wanting to move there and set up around you just from the notion that you're going to be there. Well, now you are.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, I've had for a long time a pretty strong and coherent global community, so to speak. I mean, that's, you know, I've been at it a long time, and setting that kind of fellowship in motion, speaking to the truth and walking in a straight line does that to anyone in the world. And we all know that in our own lives. Anyone who has integrity of mission and stands in central sun and speaks truth, you ultimately become a beacon to fellowship. And then that fellowship empowers you, you empower that fellowship. It becomes a beautiful harmonium. And I'm certainly very blessed in that sense. So if I chose to, you know, move to Alaska and set up a sanctuary, I'm satisfied that sufficient peoples would go there as well, although I wouldn't be that cruel to do it to people. But, you know, this is a very special part of the world, as you know, and it's connected to the Rainbow tribe and to prophecy. You know, Central America is anchoring a very special kind of frequency set, I think, at the moment. Anywhere between Lake Titicaca and where we are here in Mexico is really ground zero for the reset, the reconfiguration, hyperdimensionally, I guess, of where the human family dials into. We know that the extraterrestrial engagement that's happening in Mexico is next level, underground, in the oceans, offshore and onshore as well. It's just across the board. A lot of artifacts are surfacing. This is connected to revelation. I was just in Palenque last week with my brother Hector, who is the head of the Indigenous Medicine Collective, and a remarkable soul. Yeah, Hector. And he's also very much keyed into the assembly of these and the, I guess, indexing of these alien technologies and things that are coming forward, and artifacts, extraordinary things I've witnessed, not just through Hector, but also through the owner of the largest private collection of alien artifacts that I'm aware of, who's based in Mexico City. And I've had some wonderful engagements there. And with that collection, I'd never in my life imagined there were so many alien artifacts, technologies, skulls, and things as in Mexico. So just that alone shows that the archaeocosmological aspect of Mexico is seminal.
Yes, I saw your video. You had some video images of it when you were in Mexico, checking all that out. Amazing. You know, absolutely. Someone was saying that if you thought about other locations, and you already answered that, you were looking in Alaska.
We have another location upcoming. I'll be announcing another location on the 10th of May. That's all I'm going to say. It's actually the first time I'm announcing that here. But right. I'll be announcing another location on the 10th of May. We've been working very diligently on that. Yeah, exciting stuff.
So there you go, sweet dear ones. You got to hang out and wait for the word and circle up around, brother. There is another question here. On the way towards the eclipse, is there anything you recommend for people to be a practice with, to learn, or to even start getting a practice if some are starting to come awake now? Any recommendations to get prepared for that moment?
Well, you know, Huna, my metric is a very simple one, a stupid simple one. I've been maintaining for many years now, that the equation always comes down to the same source code, which is pure truth and right action. And so it doesn't really matter how you skin the cat and how we choose to create abstractions or, create an esoteric language around prayerfulness or meditativeness or yogic practice or science of the soul, or the way in which we choose to self-reflect and navel gaze. To me, all of that's immaterial. What is material is, am I in the here and now, standing under central sun, in pure truth, casting no shadow? Yes or no? Simple equation. There's no gray area there. Yes or no? Am I in the here and now, in the living moment, conducting right action? Is my next action right action? Was my previous action right action? Do I need to correct myself and step into right action and pure truth? That is the equation. And as long as one is dealing with that north and south and east and west axis within the spiritual morality of one's own God-given conscience and consciousness, then all the rest is just fluff and white noise. You don't need to get esoteric about it. All these disciplines are secondary. It's really about pure truth and right action in the living moment.
You hear that, sweet, sweet dear ones? To be real. And that's not just for the eclipse. That's always. Is that not right? That's always. This is the infinite. Okay, another question was, and I don't know, this might be a little more private for you, but are you able to share any information from the meeting you had with the Hopi elders?
Well, they presented me with the blue corn here, which honestly,
yes.
in contrast to museum pieces like this, this is the most valuable artifact I now possess. This to me, and when this was given to me, I shed more tears on receiving this from the elders than all the gold in Christendom. This to me is the only thing I would take with me if this house was on fire. So my time with the Hopi was blessed, deeply, deeply blessed. I didn't imagine for one moment I would be so well received by them. They received me fully, and their hearts were as open as mine, if not more so, which is hard to imagine because I'm one of those middle-aged fools who wears my heart fully on my sleeve in life. But they were so open-hearted, and the tears that we exchanged and the embraces that we exchanged over a few days and nights of kind of ceremonial engagement and just constant powwow was deeply alchemizing and deeply touching. I learned a lot from them, and I think I imparted some real white skin magic back by way of return, which was a very important exchange. To the extent that I received a message about 2 weeks ago that they have invited me to a very rare honor to be taken by them next month when I'm back in Arizona. They will collect me and take me into their hinterland, into their desert, to Prophecy Rock, and they will show me things that they simply do not show outsiders. But I've been invited to go with them and see certain things. Now, I have a pretty clear idea in my own mind, the kind of I'm likely to see, because that was shared with me. And put it this way, it is more off-world than on-world. But these blessed souls are still anchoring a frequency and a message connected to their prophecy. Of course, we're now living through the 10th prophecy of the Hopi. This is the end. So it's almost as though you view the Hopi as being a dying breed, as though they have come to the end of their marathon, that there was a man crawling through a desert for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And he finally gets to the foot of the mountain and has one seed, and he plants that sapling to the red soil, and his prophecy is complete as he dies, as the last croak or the last wheeze of his prophecy comes out. And I know that that sounds like a diminished and unattractive scenario, but for me, it's profound. It's noble. It shows the stamina and the integrity of the mission of the Hopi and their prophecy. It also shows, in a sense, something I discussed with them, which I've discussed with many First Nation hereditary leaders and indigenous leaders and elders over the years, which is, my question to them oftentimes is, do you believe that you might just be the soul of the conquestors and the whiteskins right now living through the end game of what you created? It's the sufferance that's happened to the black skin, brown skin, red skin, yellow skin people of the world. Do you think that the laws of karma and dharma have come to fulmination? And oftentimes the answer is yes, they know this to be so. I know that with the Hopi, for instance, Huna, the alcohol and fentanyl addiction, for instance, is something which has completely devastated their communities. So they don't feel that there's going to be anything beyond them, this generation. They feel that this is the end and that they are dying and that they've brought the very last gift to humanity.
Incredible. Such an honor for you to be there. I understand totally. I met the Apache chief, the paramount chief of the Apache Nation, who is he's the leader of the Blue Corn people in the Chiricahua Apache. His name is Bearpaw. He's probably 80 something now. Years ago, when I first started sharing, I had no idea of retreats and things like this. I was asked to just begin sharing. And so I had a gathering and I get a phone call from Bearpaw, who then was in his 60s, late 60s. And he calls up and he says, brother, I'm coming to your, I want to come to your event. I want you to seal me. I was like, who is this? He goes, this is Bearpaw. Oh, wow, really? Okay. What an honor and then to meet him is an extension of meeting the Hopi, because they are the same people, the Chiricahua Apache and the Hopi and the whole area. So I was given that honor to be with him and have ceremony with him, and I totally understand. I want to share something, talk about giving honor and respect also. I want to share something with you that came from a gifting to myself. Was gifted to me by the Druid Master, who was in ceremony at the summer solstice 2020 in Stonehenge. This stone is directly off one of the pillars in Stonehenge. We share this with you because I also want to share this with you. I have an invitation for you. We'll see how we do. This was gifted by, it's the first time they had a female master druid hosting the summer solstice ceremony in Stonehenge, and she was given a message by the elders in the stone to gift the stone. So, but the stone was, and she gifted the stone to me, but really the stone was not about me, it was about me being able to take it to gift it around the world. So I take it everywhere when I'm doing ceremonies and missions and invite people to hold it and connect into it. This comes from it's part of an 8,000-year-old prophecy connected to my people. And it's part two of a two-part prophecy, which spoke about prophecies, which spoke about climbing the mountain, making it to the mountain, like as you say, as you're speaking, but also that there is the elder waiting there and keeping his promise. See. So this is the axe of Odin. We call it the stone of Odin, but this is also my sword, and this is also part of it. But it was about there's a prophecy that goes in my language that goes whaia e koe te iti kahuranga ke te tuho koe me mga teitei, haramai te toki homie huie taiki, which speaks about climbing the mountain to meet the elder who kept his promise to share with you all the knowledge and the wisdom, and also to be able to hold the stone of the ancestors. And so this came through the Druids to me a number of years ago now, 2020. So exactly as you're sharing about the journey, the prophecy and fulfillment, that there is ancestors in the mountain. There are the ancestors, excuse me, in the stone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Waiting for you.
For sure, no question about that. I mean, the most powerful force on Earth in the material sense is paramagnetic stone. No question about that. There's a reason why the oldest civilizations on Earth, the last testament that remains of them is the paramagnetic stone, the granite. Stonehenge is one such example, although there's a little bit of a questionable connection to what was happening in the 1950s.
Yes.
With the moving of the stones and what have you, but nonetheless incredibly powerful. Göbekli Tepe, Karahan Tepe, both of them in the Turkish desert where I was a few months ago. I have stones from both Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, and Mount Nemrut, the place of Nebuchadnezzar, that mountain, I took a stone from there. And in Sudan early last year in the Nubian desert, I retrieved one of the bricks from one of the ancient pyramids, which are twice the height of the ones in Egypt and twice as old. Right. And that's a paramagnetic stone, but it's more metal than stone. It's a phenomenal energy. I've had multiple mediums, clairvoyants, and sensitives connect in and commune to the intelligences within these various stones that I have. I've got raw red rubies from Greenland and from all around the world, different stones. And I agree. I think these things are immensely powerful. And in ceremony, I think that they can bring to bear massive frequency sets and anchor them into a still point. So I salute you for that action, for sure.
Yes, it's kind of why I wanted to play that song in the beginning about what was in the stone, what that song was all about. Find that freedom.
Yeah.
That even though we are not human, we are in the human we make the humanity. We are in the stone. This stone, and do we remember when we have the remembering? We're each prompting, and we're prompting each other through the memory. We already have the knowing, so we prompt the memory, and we're able to take the next level, take the next steps, continue on this journey. So let me just, I'd like to now just jump over to take a little break. We do this little break thing. You can switch out, get yourself a drink, and then we'll pop back in after these. Let me say, I don't want to say commercial breaks. I'm showcasing the Huna's modalities. So let me just say entrepreneurships. And we'll jump back in after a little bit. Okay. Is that cool? How you doing for time?
Good. I've got about another half hour, 40 minutes thereabouts.
Perfect. Sounds right. Okay, then we'll jump you back in a bit.
Need some Reiki or Rife energies? Or perhaps you need some Lemurian healing products. If you are in the UK, look no further than Huna Kahatota at www.hunashealings.earth. tetrahedrons and obelisks for your on-site ceremonies, handmade and coated with Kotahora crystal dust by Huna Hikahima. Shipping is available worldwide at www.shiningstar.earth. Oracle readings rooted in the Lemurian operating system. Get your Oracle reading with Huna Kahasahi at www.flc.earth. Live online journeys, energy clearing modalities, and sound healing sessions for new families with Huna Kahiwaha. Head to www.rl5.earth.
Greetings, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. Before we have brother back on, and just take this moment to share with you some of the events we have coming up. I'd like to invite Huna Tamakia to bring forth any documentation we have. Yeah, right there we have this one coming up, the Dragon Rider, powerful program, group therapy modality, the Dragon Ride, which is going to be in Texas, as you can see there, very soon. We are grateful to Huna Kahihoe, who has come through the Dragon Masters program to receive and all the knowledge and the tools to be able to do this, the Dragon Rider. So look for that. You can go to her website, go to her email right there, office@lightshaman.earth. Also, the next thing we have coming up that's ready for attendance is the undoing of the giant codes of Rhodes. Will be in Rhodes, April 27th weekend. If you have interest of attending, this is spoken of as the undoing and the pulling of the nails from the hands and the feet, and the undoing of the sacrifice. Okay, it's a very powerful modality. We have several people attending. I am performing this in Rhodes at the harbor of the Colossus, also to work with the giant codes, to work with the giant codes in other ceremonies. Is the other reason why I'm there, to take the giant's relics or receive the giant's relics and bring them with me. So Giants of Rhodes for the undoing, April 27th. Then we have coming up the Dark Tunnel Mission with the two-headed snake. And that one is going to be very, very awesomely powerful. We have two teams on that one. Following that, right after the Dark Tunnel Mission, is the Stargate number 24 is going to be reset and activated. That's at the entrance of the Black Water. We'll give you more hints on where that is a bit later on. But it's interesting, the activation of Stargate 24 in this year of the Dragon, which is also holding a programming of the 24, aligned to 3/8, the double density of our DNA, ascension DNA through the consciousness. Also, the Dragon Masters graduation. I think we have a flyer for that. And the Dragon Masters are graduating. This is a Lemurian New Year, which for us is the first weekend of June. It's aligned to when Pleiades rises from New Zealand and rises to the North Star. That's how we calculate the new year for in Lemurian. It's called First Light. So we'll have the Dragon Masters graduation, Dragon Masters Intensive. We're also offering a special package for any of those attendees or anyone who's likely to hang out and join us. Special rates, special package for the Harmonic egg session. It's a really incredible technology. It's you sit inside of it, and it's a sound and light experience of incredible undoing and then repatriating. Okay, so pulling things back together again. We all need that to come to wholeness occasionally, right? That's during the new year, during the graduation of the Dragon Masters. And then not finally, but one of these important events that I've created is called Burning Mask. And we're going to be into our 5th annual Burning Mask event. And the Burning Mask event is simply that: burn the false mask, take it down. This opportunity at a 3-day event we'll be having in Vancouver this year. We are aligned to the First Nations, Squamish, and the Haida Gwaii, and several other First Nations councils who have been sponsoring and invited us to be on their land to present the event. Many elders, including Phil Lane, Chief Phil Lane, will be attending. A number of elders from the local area. We have a possibility of the elders from the jungles of Belize, the Mayan elders, that will be coming to that as well. And not to put them on the spot, but I'm hoping to invite Sacha Stone as well, invite brother. We'll see how things look for his schedule. And that's going to be 3 days. That's going to be early August for Burning Mask. And again, that's the 5th annual. We've had a good run at this over the past 4 or 5 years. I think that's it for that, for the housekeeping for the moment. And let me just say a quick hello to all of our audience. I know we have audience on the grams of instant, I call it. And I want to say hi to everybody over there. Greetings, sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. There's a lot of Hunas in the house on Instagram, on the grams of instant, and a lot of new names. I can't go through all of them, but let me just acknowledge you. I have this moment. I see there's a question here. Your great grandmother, traded with Sitting Bull and his Braves. Oh, okay. Because she was Cherokee. Thank you for being here. This connection to the ancestors over here in the Cherokee. Over here in the tubes over you. Oh, there's so many in here. Thank you so much for supporting everybody. A lot of Hunas, some new names in here as well. And Akasha in Hawaii, awesome. What is this? Now one now. Awesome. All new names. Okay, and there's a new Huna that I just sealed here recently. Wa'urekuya. Huna Wa'urekuya, welcome. Hope to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you guys actually at Burning Mask in Vancouver. All right, now we have audience as well on the Facebook, so we're shooting over to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X. We got stuff happening everywhere, and I trust Sacha's platforms are being filled up too. Let me bring brother back in, and as you all know, this is live and interactive, sweet dear one. So I would urge you to, if you have a question, you want an answer to your question, we're going to give you the link to come on, speak to brother face to face. That's how we do things, face to face. Let's share this energy. There must be a lot of questions out there. So come on in and just grab that link. Make sure that you mute your YouTube, just mute the volume and jump in on the stream feed, okay? Okay, while they're gathering themselves, brother, anything that you may want to have questions for myself. By the way, I want to invite you to the Burning Mask in Vancouver. It's going to be early August. If you have schedule. No, you probably can't.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I know I'm touring Europe. I'm touring the US next month, but then July late June into July, the whole of July, I'll be touring Europe, and I think I get a chance to get back to Central America in August. So that might be doable. Of course, any excuse to connect with Hereditary Chief Phil Lane Jr., who I was just with last week in Palenque for a week. I made a film which is slowly being edited. I'll release that within a week or two. But remarkable stuff there with the eagle and the condor, and this extraordinary reconvention of the First Nation peoples. Again, in Palenque, one of the elders who came from the Amazon, who'd never left the Amazon in his life, is 100 years of age, turns up and brings his very special benediction to that meeting, to that Congress of the Eagle and the Condor, and witnessing that for a week, and the round-the-clock vigils and powwows that went on was, again, just extraordinary. But same thing, a lot of grandmothers there, elders, some of them ill, old, incapacitated, but strong, bringing that frequency. It's almost like all of these wisdom keepers have walked through that desert shoulder to shoulder, whilst white man was out there playing with fire for the last 500 years. And that's what I refer to as the Babylonian Vatican Roman Catholic conspiracy, which was really about imposing straight lines onto nature and indenturing every living system and every living soul into a fiction. And that's happened in the last 500 years. Now that's the work that needs to be undone, in a sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have also an elder who is also a Huna, who he initiated from Botswana, who's going to be attending. There may be one or two others from Africa as well. I've been in Africa, so we've been making those connections. We've got here Huna Mahudi, aka Mother Mary. Mother Mary.
Hello.
Go ahead, sister. Hi there.
Hi, thank you for letting me pop in. I'm grateful to be here. This is beautiful.
My pleasure.
I just want to speak to this beautiful, noble intention that you have set, and it has been brewing, right? There's so much momentum behind it. So I could say so many of us have been pushing this intention without the words, without having the words, but having these words set, this noble intention of, as you say, to speak in this moment when the grid is quieter, when it might hear us, it will hear us, to speak this sound of into the womb of the Eternal Mother. And this hum sound that you choose, this is, that is the sound of the core of the Mother Earth. So there's so much support with us in this moment. It's like, it's beyond, we feel it in our heart, but the reason we feel that hum in our heart is because our heart is of Mother Earth, and we were told, we were reminded of that. So
well, I just want to say, if that's an Irish accent that I espy, then blessed are you, because the Irish blood is one of the most vital signatures for the resurrection of the angelic template, and the world doesn't even know about it, doesn't understand the historical, archaeo-cosmological, and then the historical context of the Irish and the Celtic blood. But that blood song, that ancestral blood song, really is one of the most powerful aspects, if not the most powerful aspect of the white skin, connected to the return of the Rainbow Tribe. And there's a reason why Ireland has been so marginalized and diminished for centuries, for millennia. It is in order to suppress that Christic frequency. Anyone who knows anything about true history understands that when America and the rest of the world start swigging Guinness and wearing four-leaf clovers and wearing green scarves on to celebrate St. Patrick's, this is a satanic ritual that is writ so large around the world and is a complete violation. St. Patrick did little other than carry out a wholesale massacre of the Christed, the anointed ones, a very long time ago. And that story needs to yet be told, and it will be told soon.
Thank you. Well, we're still here, just about holding on by a thread. So, yeah, we will be back with a bang, I'm sure. But there's just one more thing I want to say. It's just all I can offer is a kind of my own perspective of what you're doing to offer a grounded and embodied support for it. But what I can say is, as you were speaking of the Eternal Mother, and you're speaking of the resurrection of the Eternal Mother, that our matter, our body, our material is of the Mother. So truly, it is the radiant light within ourselves that we are resurrecting. And what I have seen of this is an ordering of this light. It has been decreed from on high. And it's almost like we are becoming the light ships, the light vessels for ourselves. And that radiant magnetic light, which is oscillating in the right way now, is the light that is receiving the electrics of heaven into ourselves. So that's what you're resurrecting. And there's so much support for that. And that's
Thank you.
Yeah. Blessings.
Thanks, Huna.
Thank you.
Wawa.
Bye-bye.
Hello, brother.
Hey, Wawa Nui, Huna Flash.
Wawa
You hear me?
nui. Atahuara. Huna.
Do I have that right?
Yeah, good enough.
Wow.
You're here.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. Do you have a question for brother?
Oh, I just wanted to come on and be authentic.
Ah, nice. We see your face.
Can you see me?
Where are you?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, in Colorado.
Hey,
Okay.
Huna, you told me on the 26th of January.
Sorry?
Can you hear me? I was
Yes.
sealed on
Turn
the
you up
26th of
some.
January with you.
Oh, it's 26th of January. You got sealed. You
I did
became
the one
Huna.
up-
You became
had a-
okay. Good.
Excellent.
How's
Performance.
Colorado?
It's
Now,
very beautiful. Very beautiful.
are you in the Pueblos? Are you up in the mountain Crestone
I'm
Mountain?
I'm south of the San Juans on the Ute Reservation.
Oh, there, yeah, the Pueblos. Anything there for the connection for the eclipse that you can ask or check in with brother?
No, I just wanted to come out and be authentic and talk to you. And I had a very nice eye, that very beautiful symbol of the condor this morning. Just so beautiful.
So
I
you
just
had a
wanna-
visit.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
You had a visit with the condor this morning.
Yes. Many of them. Doing the
Fantastic.
over my
This
head.
is, of course, this is the build up towards, any sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. You're experiencing visits and connections to that which has been unknown to you, just becoming known. You'll be connecting even more through the nature, through the bird tribe, through the four-legged, and take this time, especially now, to be utmost gratitude with these. You probably do. We're just reiterating this at this time. That the condor in the Lemurian, we speak the condor as fatura. It's spoken of as the fatura, which means it's the condor and the falcon energy, with the eye of the falcon within the center of the condor, which carries this focus. So when we hear condors coming to a visit, oh, that's excellent, because we are aligning to the star beings, the star nations. We are aligning to the super intelligent of nature, the super intelligence of nature, that which is Lemurian, and a return to Lemuria. So the more these things take place, sweet dear ones, we want more of it. You got little stories like this, sweet dear ones. Come on and share those too. And it's something that we can speak to. Condor in the Lemurian birth chart, the condor and the falcon is the fatura, which is the birth sign for August. Okay, it's the birth sign for August in the Lemurian, aligned to the Pleiades. Okay, if you have anything that's connected in that way, come on, jump on and ask a question. It's having the unknown become known. It's a time for that, and boosting your connection. Boost your connection. So the Fatura is boosting your connection, Huna, and you are being gifted, and you are gifting back as well, right? We share this time of the solar eclipse is also about us giving and not just taking. It's a two-way thing, two-way energy, right? We want to hold to that. Any more questions, sweet dear ones? Surely there's a lot more in here that want to jump on and have a conversation with Brother Sacha. This is a rare moment, okay? A very rare moment. You don't get to have shows like this very much. And he's got another 10 minutes and he'll be out of here. Okay, here's a brother from India. Lokesh, Huna. Another Huna. Huna's everywhere.
Hello, brother.
Oh, brother. It's still dawning over there, is it? Or is it nighttime?
Let me mute my YouTube. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good. You're good. No, there's no feedback, no looping.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It seems like it's been ages since we talked. It was only a couple of days back. But things are moving so fast that, I can't keep up. So, but I just wanted to say hi to both of you guys. And I was actually in Bali last year. I think, Sasha, I think you were not there, but I attended I think there was a one-day event. There was like a music festival or something.
Are you referring to at my home and in Akasha, New Earth Haven?
Yes, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, and I was in Tulum a couple of years back as well. So I know you're building the new community near there. So hope to see you back there sometime. But yeah, I was talking to Huna Flash the other day that I live in Thailand now. Like I'm from India, but I lived in California for a few years now. I'm here in Bangkok, so we were planning to do something here. Like I was going to say not Burning Man, Burning Mask, not Burning Man.
Not Burning Man, Burning Mask. Never mind that Burning Man stuff. This Burning Mask.
Yeah, so Sasha, if you also want to join us, I think we were planning like first week of December, and I was anyway planning some kind of a workshop or a conference because I'm a life coach, and I want to do more events around like life purpose because I see a lot of people who are doing all this healing work and stuff, but sometimes we get lost in what is the direction, what is the purpose. So that's where I'm coaching people on not just how to find the purpose, but also to live it. So if you have any thoughts around that, or if you want to be part of that, you're welcome to join us as well.
You're talking about did you say Thailand?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in Bangkok, but there's a few other places. I know people in like Chiang Mai and Koh Samui as well. But yeah, I'm in Bangkok right now. Yeah.
Wonderful. I know it well. Alas, I'm touring in Mediterranean, Europe, and then Mediterranean and North Africa in that month. So it's very unlikely I'm going to be anywhere near Southeast Asia, but very best of luck with it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the offer, brother. We're going to take one more question, and then we want to show a few pieces to brother before he goes. Let's take this last question here from what is this? Y-side soldier. Hey,
Aloha.
brother. Aloha, brother.
Aloha, kako. Hello, everyone.
Oh, aloha, tato. Yes.
Yeah.
Chee-hoo.
Yeah. Hey, I just
What's up, my brother?
I just wanted to come on and share the light because that's what it's all about right now. I'm here in Hawaii, Maui.
In Maui. Yes.
And a lot of the people have been making their ancestral connections. And to me, us as Lemurians,
Yes.
children of the light,
Yes.
it's the darkness is being brought to the light, and I commend both of your work, because it is all about a collective and us sharing the Ike and the Manao and the
Absolutely.
Manao, which is the stories and
Yeah.
the tellings of old. And it's an honor to be in your guys' presence, and I just like to mahalo you, Flash, and Sacha
Brother.
Stone, for having this,
Mahalo, bro.
because this is the time is nigh, and I feel the sense of urgency in all the people. You can see it, and much mahalos to you guys.
Very kind. Thank you very much indeed for your kind words. Thank you.
Yeah, I like to come grind, brother.
Come anytime, Huna. If you ever in Maui, you hit me up.
I was there before I moved to Mexico. It was like almost 7 years now. I was in Hawaii with Bulla Logan. We were doing work together with Bulla. I was in Maui. I was doing workshops there, sharing. And I was sharing where the tree was, where the portal tree is, the mahuta. I was sharing where the mahuta was. So we were, it was incredible. And then sharing the 6-pointed geometry, which is still in Maui, which is the first civilization of Lemuria that was at the top of the mountain. Yeah, we got a lot more to share. I did a show a few weeks ago called Maui Lives, in spite of Lahaina. Right? In spite of Lahaina, Maui will live, Maui will always live, because that geometry is still existing today since the first Lemuria. Long time, bro. Long time.
Yes. So some of the I'm sorry, Huna.
No, go ahead.
Apologies, but some of the elders once told me that this in Maui was actually the center of the universe.
You glitched. Say that again. You glitched. Tried to glitch.
No, that Maui was actually the center of the universe. So it brings confirmation to what you are saying and what I have been told previously.
Absolutely. What does Maui mean? The children from the stars.
The light
descendants of the stars. That's what Maui means. So when you are Maori, you are children of heaven. Maui, children of heaven. It's an expression. Goes all the way to Persia. They have the same name, same phrase in the Arabic, in Damascus, before Babel. Before that same title was there. So we are connected. We are not just 5,000 years in Polynesia. We're
beyond that.
It's infinite, dude. So thank you for sharing that. Perhaps one day, when we do have the burning mask in Maui, and we have the event, and we bring the elders for an Aloha Summit, perhaps Sacha will be available at some stage. We may be looking at a couple of years because we are both very busy. But we can make that happen, I'm sure.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I have to say, let me just, while I can, I'm going to be announcing, I think next month, May, a countdown to June, during the solstice. We're planning on launching around the solstice. The International Tribunal for Natural Justice is kicking off a judicial commission of inquiry into the doctrines of discovery, which is going to attempt, we've been planning this slowly for about a year, and it is a logistical nightmare. How do we launch a judicial commission of inquiry into the greatest crime in the history of recorded time since pre-Sumerian times? How do we begin to address 500 years of imperial dominion and Holocaust over all of the First Nation peoples, all of the Aboriginal peoples of the world? How do we begin to address a crime of such grave majesty? How do we assemble thousands upon thousands of the First Nation tribes, the indigenous elders, the indigenous wisdom keepers, the living testament? How do we take those stories? How do we conduct the logistics to be able to create a digital backbone, a platform that will invite these voices to slowly come forward and be heard and the true stories, the telling of the genesis of the treaties that were struck by the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the English, the Dutch, the Germanian tribes. How do we begin to address a Holocaust, a genocide of such epic proportion? That's been the question, and that's why it's taken me and my team a long time to slowly begin to assemble how to do it. So we are in the process of consolidating that digital platform. We will be putting the call out. Hawaii, Kingdom of Hawaii, is center stage of that call. And curiously enough, so is Aotearoa, so is the Maori, because the first light of this world strikes Aotearoa. But the Kingdom of Hawaii plays the seminal role in the kind of axis of power, imperial domination, and evil, given that that blessed island is clearly the epicenter of the Christic conduit to the inner earth and the outer skies, situated where it is very uniquely between two continents. That is not happenstance. The Hawaiian people and the ancestral blood song of the Hawaiians is clearly anchoring something of profound importance. And there is a reason why the corporation USA went and steel curtained Hawaii and dominated it to the extent that it's done. The extraterrestrial, hyperdimensional, subdimensional, interdimensional engagement with off-world intelligences and high intelligences that anchor through Hawaii as well. Again, Hawaii is a kiss point between the dielectric universe and the paramagnetic inner earth. Something is going down in Hawaii, and the world needs to know why were directed energy weapon systems targeted Hawaii. There's a good reason for that. That was the most stupid mistake that the imperialists could have made, because sending a directed energy weapon system to Hawaii and conducting that ritual fire sacrifice unleashed the sleeping blood song of the ancestors. That's what happened. That was a benediction that is about to unfurl and take over this world. So I said this at the time when Hawaii was struck. But the point I'm trying to make to you gentlemen here and to the audience, your audience, Huna, is that we are very close to making the announcement of a judicial commission of inquiry into the First Nations Holocaust, the papal doctrines of discovery. We're going to hold the Vatican crimes to task. We're bringing forward theologians, historians, all sorts of living testimonies, and expert witnesses are coming forward. It's probably going to take 3 to 5 years. We're actually calling the initiative Once Upon a Time. ... It's about time the First Nation peoples told their own story about how those treaties were violated, how the gold was stolen, how their genetics were mutated, how the whole Holocaust and apocalypse against the Rainbow Tribe was conducted, essentially under the thrall of the blood cult of the Roman Catholic Church. So I'll leave my wheezing at that. But it's so nice for me to have such powerful blood song coming from Hawaii and Aotearoa at the same time on a broadcast.
Beautiful. Thank you. Also, can I add? That's going to help us get to the moment where we can have that moment with the tribunal. And as I'm working and bringing the burning mask, pulling down the false face and revealing the true face, as we continue with that event, begin to put in the narrative and begin to put in, if I may, be able to speak towards what's coming in terms of the tribunal, what you are working with Sacha, to begin for me. See, this is one of the most powerful words in the world that people recognize of our language. It's the most disgusting, but it is one of the most powerful that we also need to attend to at the fractal cellular level. And that word is haole. Most people in the world know what haole means, which is totally a disgusting word. But we have been using it so much and we're so got used to it, we need to stop that habit within. Now, what am I talking about? When the elders, when the kahunas and the elders and all the hunas get together, have this meeting at the burning mass, I'm bringing that code center stage, that code, because that is a code. And what is it? Is racism. It is blood quantum. It is It was Walking Dead, the Walking Dead, referring to everybody as the Walking Dead. The living man becomes the Walking Dead. This phrase is detrimental to our people and detrimental to humanity, and is one of the most popular words spoken to every tourist that ever went to Hawaii. And all they're trying to do is go home, to see home again, because they were once Hawaiian in another lifetime. Everybody was a descendant from the stars. So with the burning mask, we call it the Wawa Summit. First, we called it the Aloha Summit, but there's an inclusion of the Wawa Summit, which is much love, the Summit of Love, where we're going to bring the kahunas. And the hunas are kahunas in Hawaii, all around, the elders, as you know, and we're bringing this to begin that conversation at the fractal level. And let us see where that thing starts getting bigger and where it starts blossoming, and we can blossom it into tie the narrative into the tribunal as one of the pieces that is at the fractal level of why the Vatican, why the Romans, why the Draconians behaved that way. How come they came to be that way? So it's really racism, but it's a lot more. Blood quantum, it's privilege, there's a bunch of stuff in it, but we begin at the fractal level with this code. Haole. There's a couple of other ways we can say it too. Palangi, Popolo, and Pakeha. But that Haole is the most popular one. I'll get too emotional if I carry on with this one, but I'll just leave that there, okay? Brother, good to see you. Send an email. We got to connect, because I'll give you the dates when we're going to visit. There's some hunas in your area too, so much alohas to you.
Right on, Huna. Mahalo,
Sacha
Stone. Mahalo.
God bless
Mahalo
you.
to you all out there. God bless.
God bless
God
you,
bless,
brother.
Mahalo nui loa ba. Okay, just before we go, I know we've got a couple minutes with Sacha. We want to present a couple of things as part of the before and after alignments. If I can call on Huna Tamaake, the child of the awakening. And we want to share some of these geometries with you and how they come to be. And their significance in the overall energetic and vibration frequency of what's taking place. Tamake, when you want to jump on?
Hello.
Introducing Tamake.
Hi, Sacha. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Sacha, Tamake is the CEO of the House of Huna Operations. She's a former corporate employee of Michael Dell. She worked for Michael Dell in some computer systems, and a lot of really incredible knowledge of this star being right here has been producing these geometries stemming from certain locations on the real estate, from real estate of all kinds of real estate from all over the world. Certainly the real estate that's we're all focusing on for the eclipse, on certain dates, working with certain birth signs and the birth charts that produces this geometry. You saw some of it, a little bit of it the other day, and I thank you for sharing that. I'm going to invite Huna to share us a little bit about what we have here.
This is the upcoming eclipse. So looking at Turtle Island as a whole and not just America, where does the eclipse touch Turtle Island? In certain points that it hits on Turtle Island, and then where does it leave? We do have a Stargate that has been reactivated in, I think, is it Pittsburgh, Huna?
Yes, the door of fire in the
Yes.
Golden Triangle. It's been reset frequency to the door of fire.
Yes. So the eclipse, after it goes through the zone of silence, goes through Carbondale, Illinois, which is a major intersection point from the 2017 total eclipse. And there's a lot going on with that area of this whole thing. But then it goes through the sphere of the door of fire, which the energetic field of those is pretty massive. It's at least 200, maybe 300 miles from the center. And then it leaves the turtle a little bit after that.
Leaving Honomotu.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we looking at in terms of these geometries as the teardrop of a dragon? It also carries, as we spoke about, light. And as I sing the song about light, within the water there is light. So within the teardrop, there is fire. Of course, you know all about the science on that. So what this is sharing, in my opinion and my understanding of it now, is that certain effects happening into certain birth charts, alignments to certain groups of people, certain groups and certain continents are being affected by, because it's not only just the local, where we are going to be, where the eclipse is coming across. It extends further out, of course. It extends further out. The teardrop extends further out into the birth channels and the birth signs of everybody on the planet, of course. So these geometries, we are sharing that extension. Would it be emotional? Whatever the emotion is as well. Sometimes you can just sit and look at this and stare at the thing and
really get lost in it.
Really get lost. And it'd be quite something to have in terms of a design. If you were to sit, if you're going to have a seat, to have this geometry sitting under you, perhaps being there with you. It's being connected to the above and the below at the same time, and they're reflecting with you in the middle. Quite possibly. This is some of the things that we're looking at to amplify, intensify, to guarantee the confirmation of this energy. Of course, to emit this, to help, to assist the guidance to emit these transmitters.
Anything, and if I can add something to that,
go ahead.
That intersection point in Illinois, there's so much fear mongering going on the social media about this area and what will happen or what could happen. What's very curious to me is I got the call to go into the forest a few months ago, and I didn't know what it was. And a few weeks ago, it was finally revealed to me that it is the Shawnee National Forest. I did not consider going to the path of the eclipse. I was thinking about staying here in Nashville. And the Shawnee does come through my mother's people. So I'm looking at this going, oh, okay. So being called into the forest wants us to come visit and go give a gift. And this is the land of the Shawnee as well. I didn't know until a few days ago that they were all the way down here through the southern border of Tennessee. And in knowing how sounds are pronounced and going back into the original Lemurian coding, and I think you had verified this earlier, Huna Flash, that it would be Sani in Lemurian.
Yeah, Sani.
So there's the teardrop of the dragon again coming up through the land of the Shawnee people.
Sa meaning circle of light, meaning the dragon in the circle of light. Sani. Absolutely. So we have a little bit of Sacha, brother, we have a little bit of creativity going on with what we do and getting ready for these moments and sharing these energies and guidance as many ways as we can. Can I invite you to, brother, to give us your final words as we close up our Huna Flash TV for today?
Sure. Well, again, I yesterday on my Lazarus symposium, I had a very interesting couple of hours. One of the live panels was with Elena Danan and Dan Willis and Jane Evershed. And I know that Elena last week had put out a message inviting her followers to, in a sense, disengage from this idea that cosmic events could in any way act as catalysts for consciousness, group consciousness. And that came about also in the panel yesterday, where one of my guests raised that with her and said, what is your view of the upcoming shift? And her attitude again was to underscore her belief that consciousness upshift or enlightenment is a very personal and individuated phenomenon. It does not, cannot, will not happen at the collective level. And she made that statement again, and I challenged her. She's a dear friend, and I love this woman. But I said I could not disagree more vehemently with what you say. I could not disagree more vehemently. I said with every atom in my body. So let's do the dance of Shiva and Shakti and look at this. Why do you hold to that position? And you're in direct communion with, with Enki and with the Ashtar Command, and her geometry and science and archaeology is legend and astrophysics. So, and I'm fairly well situated intellectually from my position, and so I said, let's look at why we're so at loggerheads on this issue of the total eclipse coming up, and that this represents some kind of an axiomatic shift point in human and planetary consciousness. I said the Babylonian priesthood, so to speak, the invisible masters or the watchers, or however you want to look at it, have clearly, palpably, for millennia, used cosmic events as seminal datelines and node points to orchestrate, engineer, mindfuck, and conduct the orchestra of humanity, and to derail, to commandeer, and to aggregate group plasma creation stuff of the idiot human. So that's clearly what's led us to this shit show called reality today. So I said, how is it that we can make a statement that these cosmic events don't act as catalysts? To me, it's obvious that we should be using these same datelines, these same cosmic events like total eclipses, to harmonize, deconstruct, reverse engineer, disengage all of that Babylonian black magic, so to speak. So that's my absolute, and she agreed with that. But she said, if it's coherent, actualized human beings who are in coherence with that group exercise, it can and will have a palpable effect. But her point was that most humans would see that as a get-out clause because they've not done the inner work themselves. They're not in coherence necessarily with the flame of pure truth within themselves, but they're going to try and hitch their wagon to the collective upshift, morphogenetic upshift. And that's not good enough because that won't work for them. And of course, she's absolutely correct. So we kind of worked out the geometry of why we were at odds with each other, but it's the same thing. So I'll round off by saying, to me, this is a seminal opportunity. We have 4 minutes, 28.1 seconds. The greatest span of total eclipse is directly over the navel of the paramagnetic navel of the Earth, which is in Mexico. And something phenomenal is going to occur there. In my view, that is dateline 0 for a morphogenetic upshift, the likes of which I don't believe we've seen certainly in 7,000 years. And as you will know, Huna, and you will know that the grand precession of the equinox is more or less broken into quadrants of 6,500 years. So we're talking about, an again, epochal axiomatic opportunity to collectively now not make the mistake of looking to the skies, either with apocalyptic apprehension or, false light adulation, like Babylonian fiestas and parties and people, taking microdosing and getting drunk. What a diabolical abnegation of our majesty that is about to offer itself to us, which is the resurrection, as I've been putting it, the resurrection of the eternal mother. It's something I've been coining lately because that to me is what it is. That is the backdrop of creation, the cauldron of creation. We issue from that womb. And this is now the opportunity we have to look away from Father Son, in a sense, move to the inner central sun, place our group intention there into the atom seed of how we now begin collectively to do the bidding of the First Nation wisdom keepers who've told us for millennia, it's simply a matter of dreaming wisely.
Thank you for those incredible final words. If I might say so, as we cap it off, This is how the elders would always share it. In spite of individualism and a collective, it takes a village to raise a child. That's both cosmic village, both terrestrial village. One child is everybody's child. We're never left alone. We never leave them alone. And so the growth and the lessons and the education that one receives, either in this timing or any other timing, it is a fundamental foundation of indigenous, of eldership, and our sacredness, that the child is raised by the entire village. We need to go back to that exactly. We need to go back to that more. Thank you, brother. You are saying this. You are bringing this. We're bringing it together. Everybody's doing their best to bring this together. And I look forward to more conversations with you at some stage, and certainly look forward to being with you, finally meet you in person. We keep just skirting around the navel here in Mexico, so to speak. But we'll make that happen, of course, the right time, right?
Wonderful. Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with our family here, brother. We look forward to the next one, okay?
Indeed.
Wow. Okay, there you go, sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloveds. That was a good time. Did you have a good time, Tamaki?
Yeah, it was a fantastic show.
It's a great show. And okay, it's a show. It's sitting around yapping and talking and interaction. Yeah, interactive and live. So grateful to Brother Sacha. Get yourselves ready as you always do, sweet dear ones. Like every other time you do. And the Hunas know this, and all those who have the light work know this. You can prepare yourself. In this case, perhaps prepare yourself to be even more quiet. I'm considering being at the zone of silence. Either I drive up there or I will fly up there. We will see. I've got a lot of energy to expend over this next month or so. And I just want to make sure I don't overdo it and add anything that I don't really need to, but we will see. It's certainly an auspicious moment. And we'll make a decision. Thanks again for an incredible show. Sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. All of you on the grams of instant in the book of face. As I say, wah to you all. And sweet dearly beloveds over here on the tubes of you, thank you. Yeah, thank you too, Richard, for continuing to support and coming to visit. Thank you. Xavier, good to see you. I hope you got that the mission that I gave you to do. I hope you completed that mission, Xavier. We're going to get after you next Sunday, okay? All right, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. So much love to you. And we'll see you on the next one, okay? I'm out.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm your light shaman. Are you experiencing unpleasant energies in your home and surroundings and waking up in the middle of the night? My work involves clearing individuals, homes, and communities. Contact me at www.lightshaman.earth and I would be happy to help.
Coaching for conscious entrepreneurship or travel is available with Huna Mahana. Book a free 30-minute consultation today at High Life Academy or High Earth Academy. For all of your high vibrational healthcare needs, you can visit Huna Kaparore at www.lightinaction.earth. Online energy support sessions and on-site property clearings in the North Salt Lake area with Huna Mahariwa Ata. Head to www.hummingbirdhealingharmonics.earth. Introducing Mexico's only harmonic egg, operated by Huna's Maroyata and Ma'aikuta. For all of your health support needs, be it physical or emotional, head to www.apapachar.earth.